Imagine this. You stay active, you walk every day, you're doing everything right. Then one afternoon, at the grocery store, your legs give out. No warning, no pain, no injury, just sudden weakness. That's exactly what happened to Helen. For years, Helen walked her neighborhood loop, believing she was keeping her legs strong and her body healthy. She never missed a day, rain or shine. She thought, I'm doing everything I should to stay mobile. But then, reaching for a simple carton of milk, her legs just stopped supporting her. The scary part? It wasn't some freak accident. It wasn't a sudden illness. The real cause had been creeping in quietly, step by step, for months. Even though she walked daily, Helen was making the same silent mistakes that many seniors make, and each one was slowly weakening her legs without her ever feeling it. And the truth is, you might be making them too. That's why today, we're uncovering the most common walking mistakes that can quietly strip away your leg's strength, stability, and confidence, and how to fix them before they cause real harm. This is better aging advice for elderly, real stories, real science, and simple, proven habits to help you age with strength, clarity, and confidence. If that sounds like the future you want, hit subscribe, and let's make sure your legs stay strong for every step of the journey ahead. Mistake number 1, shuffling instead of striding. When I first watched Helen walk, I noticed it right away. Her steps were short, her feet barely lifted, shuffling instead of striding. It might seem like a good idea. It feels safer, right? Less risk of tripping. But here's the hidden danger. Short, stiff steps signal to your muscles that they don't need to work. When you shuffle, you're not engaging the muscles in your legs fully. Slowly, over time, your hips and thighs begin to weaken. The more you shuffle, the less strength you build in the very muscles that support your walk. Eventually, those muscles that you depend on, they start to give out. Helen was shocked when I pointed this out to her. She didn't realize how much it was affecting her mobility until we started working on correcting it. The truth is, shuffling is one of those quiet habits that sneaks up on us. It doesn't hurt at first, but its effects accumulate. So why does it matter? Well, when you walk with a proper stride, heel to toe, full foot movement, you engage muscles from your calves to your hips, helping to stabilize your joints and maintain mobility. If you shuffle instead of stride, you're not giving your body that important movement. It's like taking shortcuts that might seem easy in the moment, but eventually, you'll find yourself paying the price with weaker legs, joint pain, and less overall mobility. I know it can be easy to fall into the shuffle, especially as we age. But making small adjustments, like consciously lifting your feet a bit higher with each step, can have a huge impact on your strength and stability. Have you ever noticed how your stride has changed over the years? Maybe it's gotten shorter or you've started to shuffle a bit more. Drop a yes or no in the comments, and let me know if you've ever experienced this. I'd love to hear your story, and let's support each other in improving our walking habits. Mistake number 2, looking down while walking. Helen's second habit? Eyes locked on the ground, always scanning for cracks and pebbles. At first glance, it makes perfect sense. We've all been taught to watch where we step, especially as we get older. A loose stone, a raised sidewalk, or even an uneven patch of grass. All it takes is one wrong step to cause a nasty fall. So Helen believed she was being cautious, smart even, by constantly looking down. But here's what most people don't realize. This habit actually makes you more likely to fall, not less. When your eyes stay glued to the ground, your head naturally shifts forward, pulling your spine out of alignment. That forward-leaning posture throws off your body's balance, forcing your muscles, especially in your lower back, hips, and legs, to compensate for the poor alignment. The longer you walk this way, the more your legs begin to lose their natural strength and stability. Your muscles stay in a constant state of strain rather than smooth, balanced motion. Over time, that creates stiffness, weakness, and a much higher chance of stumbling, even if you thought you were being extra careful. Helen told me she hadn't even noticed how often her eyes were locked downward until someone pointed it out. The day she changed this one simple habit, her posture improved, her steps became more confident, and she felt steadier on her feet. This one shift, walking with your head upright, eyes scanning ahead rather than glued to the ground, allows your body to return to its natural alignment. Your legs move the way they're designed to, your core engages, and your balance improves without you even realizing it. It's such a small adjustment, but it creates a ripple effect: stronger posture, stronger stride, and fewer falls. Feeling surprised yet? These kinds of mistakes sneak into almost every senior's walk. And the next one, I bet you've never thought about. Mistake number 3, walking only on hard surfaces. Every day, Helen walked the same sidewalk, same route, same pace, same flat, predictable, hard-as-stone surface. At first glance, it seemed like the perfect habit. She was staying consistent, getting her steps in, and moving her body. What could possibly be wrong with that? But the problem wasn't the walking. The problem was the surface. When you walk only on flat, hard surfaces like sidewalks or pavement, your legs stop having to adjust. Your stabilizer muscles, the ones in your ankles, knees, hips, and core that help keep you balanced on uneven ground, get less and less practice. Day by day, step by step, they quietly weaken. This is why so many seniors are shocked when something as simple as walking on grass or a slightly sloped driveway suddenly feels unsteady or wobbly. It isn't the surface, it's that the body has stopped being trained for it. When Helen and I talked about her routine, I suggested a small change. Switch 1 or 2 of her weekly walks to a nearby park path with mixed terrain, soft grass, dirt trails, even a little gravel. At first, she was hesitant. It felt awkward and slightly more challenging. But that's exactly what her muscles needed. By simply walking on surfaces that naturally vary, even just once or twice a week, her body was forced to activate all the small, stabilizing muscles that flat sidewalks weren't training. Those little shifts and adjustments that happen with every uneven step quietly rebuilt her leg strength, improved her balance, and gave her far more confidence, even when she was back on smooth ground. Your legs don't just need movement, they need variety. Just like lifting the same weight every day eventually stops building muscle, walking the same flat path over and over stops challenging your body in the ways that matter. So the next time you head out for your walk, ask yourself, am I letting the pavement do all the work for me? If the answer is yes, try changing it up. A grassy park, a dirt path, or a soft trail can help retrain your body to stay strong, balanced, and ready for the real world. And trust me, the difference shows up not only on your walks, but in everyday moments, from climbing stairs to standing up from a chair. Stick around, because the next mistake is something almost no one talks about, but nearly everyone does. Mistake number 4, neglecting arm swing. When Helen walked, her arms barely moved, locked at her sides, stiff as tree branches. She thought it didn't matter. After all, walking is all about the legs, right? That's what most people assume. But your arms are more involved than you think. In fact, they play a critical role in keeping your entire walking rhythm smooth, balanced, and efficient. Here's what happens when your arms don't swing. Your body loses its natural momentum. Walking becomes more of a drag, putting extra strain on your lower back, hips, and knees. Without that rhythmic arm motion, your stride shortens, your posture slouches, and and the muscles that help you stay upright start working harder than they should. When your arms swing naturally, opposite arm to opposite leg, it acts like a built-in stabilizer. Your shoulders, core, and legs all work together in a smooth chain, keeping your balance centered and your muscles firing in harmony. It also helps absorb shock with every step, reducing wear and tear on your joints. I still remember the first time Helen made this adjustment. I asked her to relax her shoulders, loosen her elbows, and allow her arms to swing gently as she walked. It felt odd to her at first, like she was exaggerating, but within minutes, her stride looked more confident. Her steps became lighter, her posture taller, and her balance more natural. It's a tiny habit, but the payoff is huge. Letting your arms swing engages more muscles with every step, which not only strengthens your upper and lower body, but also helps maintain coordination as you age. Coordination is one of the first things to quietly decline when walking habits slip, and it often goes unnoticed until the day your balance falters. So next time you head out for a walk, do a quick check. Are your arms moving freely or hanging still? Allow them to swing naturally, with your elbows slightly bent, hands relaxed, and shoulders down. You'll be surprised at how quickly it improves your walking flow and reduces fatigue. This simple shift could be the missing link between walking for exercise and walking for long-term strength and stability. And if you think that's a small detail, just wait until you hear the next mistake. This one's even more overlooked, but the impact on your legs is enormous. Mistake number 5, flat foot walking, no heel-to-toe motion. When we did a slow motion check of Helen's walk, the real danger finally revealed itself: flat-footed walking. At normal speed, it was almost invisible, but when we slowed it down, there it was. Each step landed and lifted as one flat block. No rolling, no smooth motion, just a stiff, clumsy stomp from start to finish. Most people don't realize it, but your foot isn't meant to hit the ground flat. It's designed for a beautiful, natural sequence. Heel strikes first, the midfoot rolls through, and the toes push off for the next step. That rolling motion isn't just about comfort. It's a powerful, built-in system for balance, shock absorption, and joint protection. When you skip that pattern and your feet hit the ground flat, all of that pressure, the jolt of every single step, travels straight up through your ankles, into your knees, hips, and lower back. Over time, that silent wear and tear leads to joint pain, stiffness, and even muscle weakness. It's like driving a car without working suspension. The bumps don't go away, they just shift to other parts of your body. For Helen, the fix was surprisingly simple but incredibly effective, retraining her feet to roll with every step. She started practicing mindful walking, slowing her pace just enough to feel each phase. Heel touches first, weight rolls through the middle of the foot, and toes finish with a gentle push-off. The first few walks felt strange to her, like learning to walk all over again. But within days, her stride felt smoother, her steps lighter, and the soreness she once felt in her knees after longer walks quietly faded away. This one correction did more than save her joints. It gave her back confidence. She no longer worried about her legs giving out at random, because her entire walking chain, from the ground up, was finally working the way nature intended. It's incredible how many people, especially as they age, unknowingly lose this basic movement, simply because the body starts to compensate for stiffness or weak muscles. Flat-footed walking becomes the norm, and the damage builds silently. Take a moment to think about your own steps. Can you feel your heel making first contact? Do your toes help push you forward? If not, slow down reset, and reintroduce that heel-to-toe rhythm. Your joints will thank you, and so will your future self. Now, as important as this is, the next walking mistake is the one that catches almost everyone off guard, even the most active seniors. Mistake number 6, ignoring small balance wobbles. Helen often brushed off the little wobbles. A slight stumble here, a moment of unsteadiness there. She'd tell herself, "I'm just tired today," or "maybe I turned too fast." It felt harmless, even normal, until those tiny slips started happening more often. What Helen didn't realize, and what so many people miss, is that those micro missteps aren't random. They're early warning signs, your body's way of whispering. Your balance system is getting weaker. And the more often you brush them off, the more silent damage is done. When we're young, balance is automatic. Your body instinctively activates stabilizer muscles around your ankles, hips, and core without you even thinking about it. But as we age, those muscles quietly shrink if they're not challenged, and the brain's connection to them dulls. Each time Helen ignored those little wobbles, her body was reinforcing the wrong message, that those muscles didn't need to stay sharp. Day after day, the cycle repeated, until one moment, those wobbles weren't so little anymore. The fix wasn't complicated, but it did take intention. I asked Helen to start treating every walk as a balance practice. Instead of zoning out or rushing through her route, she slowed down slightly and focused on feeling the ground under each step. She practiced walking on slightly uneven surfaces, like grass or gravel, and paused during her walks to do a simple exercise, standing on one foot for 10 to 15 seconds, switching sides. It was awkward at first, and even humbling. But the result? Her wobbles became less frequent, her steps grew more stable, and her confidence soared. That simple balance work retrained both her muscles and her brain, reinforcing the connections that help prevent falls. The truth is, most falls don't happen because of one big trip or a single misstep. They're usually the result of a long, quiet weakening of the balance system, unnoticed until the moment you need it most. So the next time you feel a little unsteady, don't brush it off. Let it be a signal, not an excuse. Practice balance every day, even during your walks. Your legs, your joints, and your future will be stronger for it. And if you think those little wobbles were easy to miss, wait until you hear the final walking mistake. It's the most overlooked of all, and fixing it can completely transform your strength and stability. Mistake number 7. Believing walking is enough exercise. Helen believed, like so many people do, that walking was all the exercise her legs would ever need. After all, she walked almost every day, same neighborhood, same pace, same path. It felt like enough. But her legs told a different story. Despite her dedication, she still felt weaker getting out of chairs. Stairs felt steeper. Her legs ached after standing too long. That moment in the grocery store, when her legs nearly gave out, was the wake-up call. The truth is, walking is fantastic for circulation, heart health, and joint mobility, but it only works your muscles to a certain point. Especially when the route is the same day after day, your body gets efficient. Muscles adapt, the challenge disappears, and strength quietly fades. When I explained this to Helen, her reaction was pure surprise. She thought walking was the gold standard, the best insurance against weakness. But what walking often misses is resistance. The load that signals your muscles to stay strong, rebuild, and hold firm. So we added just a few simple strength movements into her daily routine. Chair squats, using a sturdy chair, lowering and rising slowly, 5 to 10 repetitions. Toe raises, holding the kitchen counter, rising onto the balls of her feet, then lowering back down. Side steps, with light support from a wall or railing, stepping side to strengthen the often neglected hip stabilizers. None of these exercises required a gym, special equipment, or even a change of clothes. They fit right into her day, after morning coffee, during TV commercials, or while waiting for water to boil. And the difference? Within just a few weeks, Helen's legs felt alive again, in her own words. She stood taller. She stopped dreading stairs. Even her balance improved, because stronger muscles meant faster, more stable reactions when the ground felt uncertain. This shift isn't about replacing walking, it's about upgrading it. Walking keeps you moving, but strength training keeps you strong enough to move. So ask yourself, when was the last time you actually challenged your leg muscles? Not just strolled, but strengthened? It's never too late to start, and the smallest exercises, done consistently, can rebuild the strength you thought was gone. And that's the biggest walking mistake of all, thinking walking alone is enough. When you add strength to the equation, every walk becomes easier, safer, and more enjoyable. Helen thought walking meant she was safe. She believed the miles she logged each week were enough to protect her legs, her balance, and her strength. But the truth was more unsettling. Those 7 hidden mistakes were quietly working against her, weakening her legs little by little, without pain, without warning, until one day, her body couldn't hide it anymore. And that's the part most people miss. It's not the distance you walk or how often you lace up your shoes. It's how you walk, the habits you build without even noticing, that decide whether your legs stay strong or slowly give up. The good news? Awareness is the fix. Once Helen learned to spot the mistakes, shuffling instead of striding, staring at the ground, sticking to the same hard surfaces, locking her arms, flat foot walking, ignoring balance wobbles, and relying only on walking for exercise, everything changed. She didn't overhaul her entire life. She just made small shifts, lifting her feet a little higher, lifting her gaze, choosing new walking paths, swinging her arms, rolling heel to toe, tuning into balance, and adding a few strength moves to her day. The result wasn't just stronger legs, it was stronger confidence. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments. Sometimes, even one small change can be the difference between feeling unsteady and walking with power. If this helped you rethink your daily walk, hit like so more people can stay strong, safe, and independent for years to come. And make sure to subscribe for more better aging advice, because your strongest, sharpest years don't belong to your past. They're still ahead.